Imagine being lost in the woods and hearing your own voice calling out for help. I was 17 when this happened, and until today I haven't told this story to anyone outside my family. That's because nobody believes you when you say, "I heard myself screaming from the woods." Back then, I used to spend every summer with my cousin Eli at our grandfather's cabin in southwest Virginia. It sat near the Blue Ridge Mountains, tucked between miles of forest and fog. No neighbors, no phone signal. Just the hum of cicadas and the groan of the wind. Grandpa always had rules, simple old Appalachian stuff. Don't whistle after dark. Don't look in the woods too long after sundown. And never, under any circumstance, go near Devil's Hollow. That name always stuck with me, Devil's Hollow. It sounded like something out of a campfire story. He told us stories about it when we were younger, how people wandered into that part of the forest and never came back. How sometimes you could hear voices at night, voices that sounded like people you knew, or yourself. We laughed it off, figured it was just Grandpa's way of keeping us from getting lost. But that summer, curiosity won. One morning, Eli dared me to go with him, to finally see what was in Devil's Hollow. We packed some snacks, 2 flashlights, and a cheap compass that barely worked. The trail wasn't even marked, just a barely there path leading into thick pine trees where the sunlight struggled to break through. Almost instantly, the woods felt different. No birds, no bugs, no breeze. Just this strange pressure in the air, like something heavy pressing against your ears. After about 30 minutes of walking, Eli said, "Do you hear that?" At first, I didn't. But then, I did. A voice, far off, muffled, repeating something, over and over. We stopped walking and tried to listen. That's when my blood went cold. It was my voice, calling out from deep in the trees. "Eli, come here. I'm hurt. I can't move." Exact tone, same panic in the voice. Only thing is, I wasn't saying it. Eli looked at me, confused and scared. Is this a joke? I just shook my head. And then we heard his voice, coming from another direction, whispering, "Ryan, over here. I found something." We both stood. Its arms were too long, its head tilted unnaturally. Its skin looked like tree bark, peeled off and stitched back together. No eyes, just black dents where a face should be. It opened its mouth, and I heard my voice. "Eli, don't leave me. I'm scared. Help me." It twitched, stepped closer. Then it used Eli's voice. "Ryan, I found a way out." Eli grabbed my hand. "Run." And we did. Branches tore at our faces. Something was behind us. We could hear it, mimicking our cries, matching our footsteps. "Don't leave me. Help me. Please come back." It said it in my voice. It said it in Eli's voice. It even said it in Grandpa's voice. Then we broke through the trees, back onto the gravel road by the cabin. The moment our feet hit that road, the woods behind us went completely still. Dead silent. We stumbled into the cabin, slammed the door, and just stood there shaking. When Grandpa saw our faces, he didn't ask what happened. He just sat down and whispered, "Did it use your voice?" We both nodded. His face went pale, like he already knew. Then he said something I still hear in my nightmares. "It can only use a voice after it's heard it bleed." We never went near Devil's Hollow again. But some nights, when I'm alone, I still hear it, calling for help in my voice. My grandma told me there's something in the hills that watches when the fog rolls in, and that if you see it watching back, it's already too late. I never used to believe in the old stories. I thought they were just mountain myths, stuff old folks said to keep kids from wandering too far. But last October, I saw something in the hills behind our house in eastern Kentucky, and I haven't been the same since. It started a few weeks after my grandma passed. She lived alone in a small wooden house built right into the slope of the hills. After the funeral, I volunteered to stay there a while, take care of the place, feed the dogs, maybe get some peace. That was a mistake. The first few days were quiet, the kind of quiet that presses on your ears. No cars, no cell signal, no Wi-Fi, just wind, and the sound of trees shifting on the mountain. But on the fourth night, the fog came, thick, heavy, like smoke that wouldn't move. I woke up to the dogs barking wildly, growling at the back window like someone was out there. I got up, turned on the porch light, nothing. But then I looked toward the hills, and I saw it. A shape, standing perfectly still at the edge of the tree line. Too tall for a man, too thin for a bear. It was just watching. I stared for a while, thinking maybe it was a shadow or a tree stump, but then it tilted its head, slowly, like it knew I was watching it too. Then it stepped back into the trees and disappeared. I didn't sleep that night. The next day, I called my uncle, told him I thought I saw something on the hill. He didn't laugh. He just said, "Did the fog come first?" When I said yes, he told me something I'll never forget. "That thing's been in those hills longer than any of us. You don't look at it. You pretend you didn't see it. And if it ever comes closer, you leave immediately." The fog came again the next night. I stayed up this time, sat on the floor by the front window, no lights, just watching. Around 2 a.m., the dogs started whining, not barking this time, just soft, low sounds, like they were afraid to even make noise. I peeked out the window, and there it was, closer, at the bottom of the hill now, still just standing, still watching. But this time, it wasn't alone. Behind it, more shapes. I couldn't make out faces, just pale limbs and long arms that seemed to stretch too far. Their heads twitched in sync, and they were quiet. That's what scared me the most. No growl, no roar, just complete empty silence. I backed away from the window, heart pounding in my chest. I grabbed my keys. I didn't stay another night. Haven't been back since. But I still hear them sometimes. When the fog rolls through my new neighborhood, I stay inside. And I don't look at the hills, because I know it's still watching. And if it ever finds out I told someone, I don't think it'll just stand and watch next time. We thought the crying sounds under the cabin were just raccoons, until it started calling our names. This happened when I was 15. My uncle had this old hunting cabin deep in the Tennessee Appalachian woods. No running water, just a well, no electricity. You had to use a lantern to see anything at night. He invited me and my older brother Jake to spend a weekend there with him, just the three of us. No phones, no distractions, just hunting, stories, and the kind of cold that makes your bones ache. The cabin was weird even during the day. It had this slant to the floor, and the windows never quite shut right. But the creepiest thing was the crawl space underneath. Just a foot of space between the floorboards and the dirt. Nothing should have fit under there. But the second night we started hearing crying. It began faint, like a child. We were all in our sleeping bags, fire dying out when we heard it. A low, wet, sobbing sound coming from under the floor. We thought maybe it was an animal, raccoon, injured fox, something like that, but then it stopped. And we heard whispering, very quiet, but it was saying our names. Jacob, then Ethan, my name. We all froze. Jake sat up, flashlight already in hand. He looked at my uncle. But Uncle Ray was already awake, staring at the floorboards like he knew what it was. The next morning we checked outside, nothing. But when Jake looked near the edge of the crawl space, he found something. A small, broken doll, its head missing, covered in dirt. There were scratch marks on the wood just beneath the cabin's edge, not animal scratches. Long, thin, and spaced like fingers. My uncle didn't say a word, just told us to stay inside that night, keep the fire burning, don't speak, no matter what we heard. That night, we didn't sleep, because the crying came back, louder, angrier. It banged on the floor from underneath, like someone trying to get out. Or in. Then, the voice came again, but it was different. This time it sounded like our mother. "Boys, open the door. It's me. It's okay now." Jake reached for the door, but Uncle Ray grabbed his arm hard and said, "That's not her. Don't move." Then we heard it again, a second voice, deeper, mocking, trying to sound like Jake. "Ethan, let me in, man. It's cold out here." But Jake was sitting right next to me,